right now, we've not been able to secure fuel.
Look at it! People sell! This is what I'm talking about! You are still taking new tickets, collecting money from people.
Endless fighting going on. One person passed out. It's an absolute nightmare.
What am I going to tell my 10-month-old child?
Insane, crazy fights, people trying to storm the airplane. It's insane. Everything is out of control here. Oh, so he goes through London and like, oh, Germany, well, you white guys all look the same. Wow. I literally just got an email from an Air Peace pilot telling me that the airline is not safe to fly. So guys, and here I am, welcome to Lagos International Airport, flying Nigeria's largest plane today, Air Peace 777-300 to Johannesburg.
But before I check in for one of the most dramatic flights of the year, let me share a few shocking details with you that unfolded ever since I posted my first flight review on Air Peace a couple of days ago, which was just as bad. As you probably saw, the airline checked me in on the wrong flight, lost my bag, delayed the flight by hours, and the cabin crew turned out to be absolutely untrained, jeopardizing passengers' lives. I received hundreds of comments on both YouTube and Instagram of passengers sharing the same kind of experiences and how unreliable and unsafe the airline operates. I also had Air Peace pilot email me sharing shocking photos and details about the condition of their planes and unreported incidents the airline is trying to hide from the public and authorities. But more about that later in the video. But things get even worse.
He said he was over there. Huh? He said he was over there.
Air Peace staff also told me that the owner of the airline emailed all employees asking them to report and dislike my video. On top, they have been urged to impersonate happy customers and leave positive comments. A few days later, the airline started a campaign of sending fake profiles to leave positive comments, which further revealed the fraudulent ways of Air Peace dealing with its customers' feedback. Until today, I didn't receive a single apology. But now let's check in for another crazy flight on the not so peaceful airline, Air Drama.
This guy. Yeah, this guy pointed me over there. This guy. The guy over there, he pointed me over there.
My flight to Johannesburg was scheduled to depart at 1 a.m. However, upon check-in, I was told that the flight was delayed by 3 hours because the airline flew to Hungary to pick up Nigerians displaced by the war in Ukraine.
What an adventure that was. This was hands down one of the worst check-in experiences in my life. I'll tell you all about it once I'm at the lounge. Well, let me talk you through the check-in experience I had here. First of all, there was no line, there was no system, there was nothing. It was just a bunch of people, a bunch of like desks and stations. So I get to the counter and gave him my passport, the guy who does pre-checks. You're not even at the check-in counter yet. He said, "You're from the UK." And I was like, do I look like I'm from the UK? In a funny banter kind of way. And it's like, oh, Germany, well, you white guys all look the same. Where imagine I would have said that, or it would be the other way around. You all black guys look the same. What a like borderline comment that is. That was my first impression right there. Anyhow, all this being said, the plane I just checked on flight radar is just about to enter Nigerian airspace. Coming from Budapest, so I reckon we're going to take the ex-Emirates plane, the 777. But this is what I also experienced 1 week flying in Nigeria. It is only extremely bad or extremely good. But this is my experience here in Nigeria. There was never a middle ground. There was nothing in between. And then another thing is everyone is so suspicious of what you do. If you have a camera, you are being treated like a spy, like a criminal. I've never experienced this anywhere else in the world. The aggressiveness towards a camera here in Nigeria has been immense.
I then decided to go for a little walk and look who I bumped into.
Seems like there's some protest going on or something. Let's check it out. What are they doing?
King, he's a king.
Oh, he's a king? But he's not like a big king, right?
He's a big king.
He's a big king?
Yes.
Oh, right.
He has been in...
Yeah? So he's really famous?
He's really famous, yes.
Oh, that's cool. And that's all part of the tradition, the music and stuff like that?
Even in London, that's where they will be.
Oh, so he goes to London and like, so everywhere he goes,
Everywhere.
any part of the world, he is like, and always, they're making always noise, yeah? Interesting. That's amazing. No, I feel that's pretty awesome. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I haven't met a king, like, you usually don't see kings walking through an airport terminal like this, right? That's so cool. I like that. That's just like, when do you ever go to an airport and meet a king, right? It's my lucky day. I'm blessed today. Amazing.
You're going to see.
Nice meeting you, huh? Take care. What a nice guy. Yeah, everything's closed here. Most of the flights left. There's no departure boards here. This is something I've noticed in all of Nigeria. Whether you travel domestically or even internationally, there's never any departure boards. Just doesn't make sense. But yeah, got the whole airport to myself. So guys, as you can see, I'm back at the lounge, and luckily the lounge is open all night, but I still have 4 hours to kill.
Probably even more than 4 hours, because on flight radar I could see that the plane wasn't flying to Lagos but landed in Abuja instead. So the wait would definitely continue, and the 4 a.m. departure wasn't real anymore.
The plane is landing in Abuja, not even in Lagos. The landing now, it's midnight. Disembarking everyone, refilling the plane, getting it ready. Fly from Abuja to Lagos. We're never gonna leave here by 4 a.m.
At 3 a.m. the 777 would finally depart Abuja, heading for Lagos.
So I finally get to leave the lounge because the 777 is just about to touch down coming from Abuja. And yeah, we'll still be delayed, but at least the plane is here. And as you can see, I have the entire airport to myself. And then it's really funny when you walk around here and you look in the shops, all the shopkeepers, they don't go home. They just stay in the shop and they sleep there. I'm gonna show you. But before we head to the gate for a lot more drama, let me share a little story with you. As I told you in the beginning of the video, I had Peace pilots as well as employees reaching out to me, for example sharing those photos of the Embraer tail strikes or the multiple warnings, saying that half of their planes aren't even airworthy, and a lot of foreign pilots right now are leaving the airline because they don't think it's safe to operate. And this very 777 that I'll be taking to Johannesburg was just recently involved in another incident. Apparently the flight took off in Lagos bound for Dubai, and as soon as it arrived in Dubai, it was gate checked, ramp checked by the authorities in the UAE. And what they figured out was even more shocking, that half of the crew didn't even have proper licenses or the training to operate the Boeing, which means jeopardizing everybody's safety. For instance, in a case of an emergency, this could lead to a fatal, catastrophic ending, since all planes are different. Airbus, Embraer, Boeing, and crew goes through a long, very specific training in order to familiarize themselves with the specific type. So if you are trained on an Airbus, you will find a very different environment on a Boeing. So let's say in the case of evacuation, the crew wouldn't know what to do. Or in case of a fire on board, the crew wouldn't know where are the fire extinguisher where is the equipment that we need in case to supply first aid. So this once again showed, and that was my experience on my domestic flight as well, that Airpeace crew isn't even trained properly for the type that they're flying on, which is a major safety hazard. And this is what I mean. You should really think twice before you book a flight on Airpeace, or for your loved ones or family. You know, it could be your daughter, it could be your son, it could be your mother who gets involved in an incident because they're flying with an airline that does not care about safety. But now let's head to the gate for some more drama. So just made it to the gate, and so did the plane. So the 777 just arrived. I guess there's 150, 170-ish passengers on this flight. It's also going to be a bit of a time travel, because what we experience now in this flight in terms of the cabin product is what Emirates used to look like 20 years ago.
It was then 5:30 a.m. in the morning and still no signs of boarding. It was then that the first passenger passed out due to dehydration, since the airline didn't provide any refreshments. Also, the lack of communication created a very hostile environment, and passengers started to get angry.
I can't make a birthday because fucking Nigerians fucking doing this.
Damn, I had to get away from the gate outside because there's endless fighting going on. One person passed out because they're not even providing water, and it's almost 6 a.m. and even the crew is still sitting at the gate. They haven't even boarded the plane yet, and you have 150 people here, no water, no nothing, no updates at all. It's an absolute nightmare. Unbelievable scenes here.
But then things would heat up even more.
But the stupid thing about this is that there are no people, nobody to talk. No. That is the stupid. Look at it. People tell. This is what I'm talking about.
Everything is out of control here. Another person just passed out.
You have the child here. Right, look at one of you here. Like, come on, you are still putting new tickets, collecting money from people. They said yes. You shout them now. Oh no, madam, where are we going? Like, what now? No explanation to us. Call those guys to come and give us our money. You're saying that, people's help. And after people's help. You arrest, you do whatever you like. Nonsense.
And then it was almost 7 a.m. we would finally get an update.
But as we speak now, they've done all that. The aircraft has been cleaned, it has been catered, it has been dressed, it has been washed and all that. But the challenge we are facing presently, is the challenge of fueling. Right now, we've not been able to secure fuel. The fueler said he's on the way, and that is the person we are waiting for. We are waiting for fuel. As soon as we get fuel, we'll depart. The aircraft is set.
I want to ask you a question. Can I ask a question? Sorry, I want to ask you a question.
So as you were probably able to hear, the problem is we don't have fuel. And the scenes over there are people not very happy about those news. So we'll probably be here for another hour, 2, 3, 150, 200 passengers, I don't know. A 777 at the gate, but we have no fuel. Hectic.
Wednesday up to now.
So the fuel truck has finally arrived. And I love how Africans can go from rioting and storming their planes to making now jokes about how the airline got fuel from the black market, so they're now in good spirit. Yeah, so I hope we can board really soon. So believe it or not, 7 a.m. we start to board finally.
See all those flights that don't know how to lie.
And here we are, with a 6-hour delay, we finally boarded the 20-year-old Boeing 777-300, which was originally delivered to Emirates in 2002, then stored in 2017. A year later, the plane was delivered to Air Peace, still featuring the old Emirates cabin with 12 seats in first class, 42 in business, and 310 in economy class.
So guys, and here we are, welcome on board Air Peace. I do feel a bit sorry for the crew though, because they've been waiting just as long, they're probably as tired, and now they have to work for like 5 hours serving those angry passengers. But yeah, if you're wondering what Emirates used to look like back in the very early days, this is it. This is what it looks like. I got a seat right in the back where it narrows down, where it narrows down to a 2-4-2 configuration. But the rest of the plane is a 3-4-3, and then you also saw the old business class of Emirates. But when you notice, nothing has much changed. I think the old business class Emirates is just as bad as the new one. So I also enjoyed the leg room, which is very generous, but I think that was what flying was like in economy class 20 years ago. Everything was a little better. There's a blanket and headphones already at the seat, and then you have like the in-flight entertainment right in front of you. I'm going to give you a bit of a review on that one as well. The rest of the crew is just once again very underwhelming. They don't say hello, they don't smile at you, they don't interact with you. I don't know whether it's a Nigerian thing, but that was pretty much my experience on my previous Air Peace flight as well. But Air Peace crew is known among aviators here in Nigeria as very arrogant and very distant, and they're not very service oriented, and that was my experience as well on all my flights I had with Air Peace, and this one is no different so far. So I've also been awake now for what, 24 hours? I reckon I'm gonna have a great sleep on this flight. When do you imagine you check in at 10 p.m. and you depart at 8 a.m. in the morning? 10 hours. I spent 10 hours at the airport.
The safety video was shown, and we finally taxied to the runway with a slight delay of just 7 hours, which I've heard is not too bad for Air Peace. Well done, and let's go.
So we are half an hour, 45 minutes into the flight. I totally passed out after takeoff. I was like, oh, gone. Flight is not really busy. Seats are very comfortable. You can tell it's an Emirates plane, or an ex-Emirates plane. But I also discovered this design flaw. Look at this. So guys, 1 hour into the flight and I'll have a hot meal in front of me. A croissant, a bun, a yogurt, a fruit salad, a Fanta, water, the whole smash. There was alcoholic beverages available as well. So it looks promising. Let's see what it tastes like. Really hungry. In terms of service attitude, crew is an absolute disaster. Really, like, what do you want? Fish or chicken? And they don't even look at you, and they have that really annoyed rolling eyes kind of look in their face. So yeah, I guess in terms of service there's so much room for improvement. Whew, Jesus, that was so spicy, but so tasty at the same time as well. Oh, so good. That chicken was awesome. It's like a big chunk of chicken. You know, not the little shit you get on most of the Western airlines, but like it was a big juicy chunk of chicken. Jesus, it's so hot. My mouth is on fire. So that was the breakfast lunch experience here on AOP's. Food was good. Well, crew once again, you give that to me. Give it to me. When she was clearing the lunchbox. Jesus Christ. So what always surprises me is that those two girls, for example, working on my aisle, picked a job which is 90% about customer interaction, while they clearly hate human beings. So why are they working in those jobs? I just don't get it. Can somebody explain it to me? Trying to make sense of it.
After a little nap, it was then time for the world's first Airpiece loo review.
So guess where I am? I am inside the loo, right in front of the plane. And it's quite a struggle to stay awake, to be honest. So occupying most of my time of sleeping, because I've been awake for quite some time now. But yeah, this is the loo. This is what it looks like. Nothing special really. And yeah, it still has a lot of Emirates vibes. But yeah, flight is very, very eventless. Not much happening. Still another 2.5 hours to go, which I will probably occupy with some more sleep because I really need it. Alright, let's go back to the seat. So I just got myself a coffee. Try to stay awake. It's 90 more minutes to go until we land in Johannesburg. Very, very soon. I'm slightly getting excited. Love South Africa. It's a good place. But I guess if there's something we need to talk about is the flying hours. I'm not sure whether that's 100% legal and perhaps even a safety hazard. But look, they had a reporting time, right? And then they were sitting at the gate just as long as we did. Then they're flying down 5 hours and 20 minutes to Johannesburg. Probably have an hour or 90 minutes on the ground. And then they fly back for another 5.5 hours. That's already like 11, 12. It's like already like 11 hours just in the air, right? An hour, another hour on the ground, or 90 minutes in Johannesburg, the time we had at the gate. And I know that authorities and airlines are very picky about the hours you can do on a day, just in order to protect the crew from fatigue. And as I said, like once they become sleepy and less focused, it's also a safety hazard in case something happens, right? So I know there's a lot of crew watching my videos. Let me know in the comment section below whether this is 100% legal or okay, or whether it should be brought to the airline's attention. So it'd be nice to talk about it. Let me know in the comments.
We then finally started our descent into Joburg, making it a hell of an experience. But please keep watching until the end of the video to see how you can help to save some lives and hold the airline accountable for its shortcomings in terms of safety. So now the question is, how can you help to make Nigerian skies a safe place again? While there are many good airlines operating in Nigeria, it is the bad ones such as AOPs who ruin it for everybody else. So this is where you come in. And thanks to those brave AOPs pilots who stepped forward and were willing to leak those information, showing us how dangerous AOPs really is. Number one, as more people are aware of how unsafe AOPs is, a lot fewer people will book flights on the airline. So please share this video, especially with your frequent flyer friends in Nigeria. Number 2, as more people see the video and learn about the airline, the more likely is the chance that the Nigerian press will pick up the story and hold the airline accountable. So please tweet and email this video to the Nigerian aviation authorities, IATA and EASA, so they can have a look into this as well. So if you happen to work for the press or for the authorities, please email me and I'm happy to forward all the evidence to you. So now let's see what we can achieve. And guys, this is it for today's video. I really hope that we can make a difference and that we can make Nigerian skies a safer place when you all get involved and help me spread the message. So if you want to stay in the loop, please subscribe. I'm probably going to make an update video, or follow me on my social media channels, especially on Instagram, where I will keep you updated on this case. Guys, thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for your help. Without you, we couldn't make a difference. Thank you for watching.